So you guys remember the classic film That Thing You Do? Tom Hanks, he managed the band, and then there was those other people that played in the band, and it was about a band. In other words, I won't give any spoilers away, but it was about a band, and the band was around. I think it was supposed to take place in like the '60s, like the movie. I mean, obviously the movie didn't happen in the '60s, but I think it was supposed to take place then. Like they were some band in the '60s, and they had a hit single basically, and it was because the drummer decided that the song should go in a different direction. All those drummers, man, those drummers, they always do that. You know, the old famous drummer joke. You ready for the famous drummer joke? This is a public domain joke. I did not write this, but the famous drummer joke goes, hey, how many drummers does it take to plug in a light bulb? How many, you say? None. The light revolves around them. Hey-oh! My musician friends love that joke, especially my friends who are drummers. They love that joke the best. They love it. And I don't really get it. I guess, I guess drummers, it's like, I guess drummers, they're kind of in their own zone because they're the rhythm section, man. I guess that's the generalization there. But I don't blame drummers. I mean, look, when you think about it, the drummer, they have an entire kit around them that they're sitting behind the entire show. So they can't dance around. They got to keep the time. They got to keep it in the pocket. And they got to lug by far the most stuff. They got to lug so much. Even it's more than a guitar and a half stack. It's more than that. And I know you're thinking, Ron, you're a comedian. You lug absolutely nothing. There's just a microphone and a stool. Yeah, I know. It's way easier. I mean, I totally attest to that. I don't have to lug gear around. I just have my merch to travel with. That's it. So yeah, it's way easier. Like way easier. But drummers, they got an entire kit, man. Guitarists don't have that. Bassists don't have it. Keyboard players don't really have that. It's kind of the same setup for them. And so the drummer in many ways is kind of a lone soldier. They can't do the back-to-back guitar solo thing. Guitarists can do that together. They can do it with a bass player. Keyboard, you can interact with the keyboard player. You can do the whole, like, put your arm around the keyboard player while they got a solo, like they're doing a little, like, Springsteen-esque interlude, and your arms around them. Like, yeah, I'm going to sing now, and my arms around you. Like, this is like you're the piano man, and it's like we're living a Billy Joel song, except it's not a Billy Joel song because we're a band. But the drummer still got to be behind the kit. That's the drummer still got to be behind the kit. And, Fred Armisen made a special for you. Drummers. That's he decided that was important. By the way, Fred Armisen has some pretty mean chops on the drums. I saw Fred Armisen guest with a band called the Darts. They're a fantastic band. I think they're out of the Bay Area, but we'll do them for a song of the day coming up. But anyway, he played drums on one of their tracks at a show at Highland Park in LA. He was a special guest, and he came out and he jammed with them. And so anyway. Getting back to the wonders in the movie That Thing You Do, which if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. It's a great movie. Go see it. You're missing out if you have not seen that movie. But so here's what I wanted to point out. This is them reuniting. So we're not really going to watch much of the interview because what I really wanted to point out here was this dude and his Medicare for All t-shirt. So for those of you who don't know, here, we'll play part of the interview.
Hi, everybody. I'm Guy Patterson, and I play the drums.
Hi, I'm Lenny, and I lead guitar.
I'm James Manley II, and I'm lead vocals.
And I'm the bass player.
So in the movie, the bass player didn't have a name. It was kind of funny. Like, everyone had a backstory. Like, the drummer had a backstory. The guitarist, like, it was pretty funny. So the drummer ended up kind of being the main protagonist in the show. And he... the story was kind of around him because they had a drummer before him and then he ended up filling in, and then there's a romantic interest going on there. I'm not going to give anything away in case you haven't seen it. And then the singer, he's the guy who's really focused on making it. He's the guy where, like, this band's his life. This is his shot. And, he gets really into that. The guitarist, he really just wants to get a girlfriend, but for some reason, the girls never pay attention to him. It doesn't really make any sense. He's not a bad-looking guy, but for whatever reason, the girls just don't pay attention to him. They're interested in everyone else in the band except for him, and it's kind of a funny little side tangent throughout the film. It's but the bass player he's just the bass player. That's literally all they give him. They're just like, yeah, you're the bass player, and but here he is in his Medicare for All T-shirt.
Wonders.
Hi, I'm Angie Martosio. I'm a staff writer here.
All right, so let's try to find another. Boom, check that out. Yeah, boom. Medicare for All. That guy sporting a Medicare for All T-shirt on Rolling Stone during the interview. And admittedly, I had to look up the actor's name, but I did. I looked it up, and I actually tweeted at him for doing that because I thought it was pretty cool. So here we go. Here's what I said. His name is Ethan. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong. I just showed you guys the wrong tweet. All right. Sorry about that. Let me go find the right tweet. This is a foreshadowing tweet. This is the song of the day tweet. And now I feel like I just spoiled something. Here's the proper tweet. Ethan Embry. So here I say, hey, Ethan Embry. I think that's his name. Yeah, Ethan Embry is his name. I say, hey, Ethan Embry, thanks for sporting the Medicare for All T-shirt. And it got a couple likes, not a lot, but it got a couple. And one of them was him. Ethan Embry went ahead and liked that tweet. He doesn't follow me, but that's okay. I'd imagine he has no clue who I am. And, but check this out. He's pretty cool. He's also a big supporter of Music Cares, which for those of you that aren't familiar with Music Cares, I'm not fluent in it. I don't know everything about it, but essentially it's an organization that provides for music in need. And they provide resources for people in need. And if you remember when we had the punk bassist Steve Davis on the show, he was the punk bassist who has played in a number of bands over the years. The US Bomb's one of them. He's in a new band that he fronts to. We had him on the show to talk about what he was going through because he was diagnosed with cancer. And Music Cares is one of the organizations that stepped in to try to help him. So Music Cares kind of looks out for musicians. A lot of creative types, they likely do not have health insurance in many cases. Musicians, comedians, writers, stuff like that. There's a lot of cases where they don't have health insurance. Some cases they do. They're part of a union that, helps with that. But in a lot of cases, they don't have that kind of thing. They don't have security as far as a job goes. A lot of us are freelancers and contractors and stuff like that. So when we are not able to work, we don't really get paid and we don't qualify for unemployment pretty much 100% of the time. I know they're changing that recently because of this pandemic. I don't know how permanent that's going to be, though, or how easy it's going to be. So this is an organization that helps to combat stuff like that and tries to provide for fellow musicians. So, yeah, I thought that's pretty cool. So shout out to Ethan Embry for sporting a Medicare for All T-shirt. Yeah. All right.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your